Hey guys, Joe here again, and today I'm bringing you some gameplay with the PDW-R, a long-kept secret of mine, recently made public by Jack Frags and Level Caps videos talking about just how good it is. So I'm kind of upset about that because it was as I said, a long-held secret, and it's a really amazing gun. And I just wanted to talk about how well it does in combat and how big of a recommendation I would give it. So let's start out with the most outstanding feature of the PDW-R, and that is that it has a Carbine Damage model. It's the only PDW in the game to have a Carbine Damage model, so this means you're going to have no trouble killing guys at long range. And in addition with a bunch of other aspects of the gun, all compound together to make this an absolute beast in practically every conceivable situation, except of course like extreme long range. And even then, if your target is dumb enough to stand still, I think you can knock them out there too. Now, a big thing about PDWs that a lot of people don't know is there's almost no negative side to moving while shooting with them. They're the only class of weapons that has this bonus to where you can move side to side and have barely an increase in spread or bullet bloom to your weapon. So you could be nimble and shifty and still be able to hit your target. So this, with the high damage model, the Carbine Damage model for the PDW-R, means that you're going to be able to kill people in close quarters as the fastest of any gun with at least its fire rate, which is crazy. Until you get to really high fire rates like the MPX and such, does it really start to make a difference. But in most firefights you would actually find that you would win using the PDW-R in close quarters because of these two aspects. You'll see that I'm using a suppressor on the gun, and that is because the PDW-R has the highest muzzle velocity of all of the PDWs. That means that even with a suppressor on, it's still high enough to be able to kill far away or moving targets. So that is a very big plus, and you might as well just put it on to stay off the minimap, because in some instances, if you're coming across an assault player with like an AEK or a FAMAS, and you might even be able to catch him off guard, he might still be able to kill you in the end. So having the suppressor is really great for staying off the minimap and giving them a hard time of trying to figure out where you are. I always try to do that if I'm using a gun to where it's still pretty easy to kill far moving targets. Otherwise, I basically don't bother. But with the PDW-R and its extremely high muzzle velocity, it just works out perfectly. And we don't even really have to mention the incredible hipfire accuracy for the PDW-R. Probably only beat by the P90, because the P90 is some weird freak alien gun with its amazing hipfire accuracy. But it is so awesome how good the hipfire accuracy is on this. A lot of times you may find you don't even have to aim. So what I was doing a few days ago was I was putting a longer scope on it, like a 3.4 or 4 times scope for long range, and then with close range I could just hip fire and be maybe even more proficient with it than with a red dot sight. And I think this is a pretty effective combo, in addition to me using the 44 Magnum with the scope on it, which I still use with almost all of my loadouts because of how good it is. But yeah, you will have absolutely no trouble whatsoever downing guys with the hipfire. It's almost like CSGO aiming, because of course you can't aim down sight in Counter-Strike Global Offensive, so it's almost that good is how good the hipfire accuracy is on this gun. So at this point you might be thinking, well, why haven't I been using this gun ever? Well, probably because it flew straight under your radar, but yeah, this is pretty amazing. And you might be thinking, well, what are the downsides to it? Because there really have to be downsides to basically every gun in the game. And really, it's almost non-existent. It has a slower fire rate. It's not the fastest fire rate in the world. It's really average. And then it doesn't have the fastest reload ever. It's a bullpup weapon, and bullpup weapons always have pretty lengthy reloads. And this one's moderately lengthy, but it's nothing really to cry about, and it's really not going to get you killed unless you're in a really chaotic situation on like lockers or metro or something. And in that case I would say, well, you're a stupid idiot, you shouldn't be playing as engineer on a map like that. You should be medic or freaking support and helping your team out. But yeah, this gun really is as good as it sounds. There's like no downsides. Amazing hipfire, amazing muzzle velocity. it's just an awesome gun. So it really makes me wonder why this flew under the radar in the first place. Basically, I can only think because it's about midway down the list, and a lot of times the midway down the list weapons are kind of looked over, especially like the CZ805 and stuff in the assault rifles, and also just because it's a PDW, and a lot of people have absolutely no faith in the PDWs in Battlefield 4, but a lot of them are really good, so I really don't understand why people don't just try them out and figure out how good they are. I barely ever see the PDW-R on the battlefield, and it's a shame. It's something that is so versatile. It's probably one of the most versatile weapons in the game overall, like even in assault rifles and in LMGs. It's that versatile because it's got that carbine damage model, so you can kill guys at long range, almost non-existent recoil. It's got a fast muzzle velocity to kill guys at long range, and that amazing hipfire to help you at close range. So there are absolutely no reason for you to not use this gun. It's just absolutely amazing. I can't stress it any more than that. So if you haven't used this weapon recently, or you haven't picked it up in a while, I highly recommend you do it, because this is one gun that is not nerfed and is not overpowered, but is yet fantastic anyway. So I really hope you guys liked this video, and until next time, if you guys liked this, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. And this is Yummy. Goodbye, and good hunting.